Hi guys, it's Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about a really hard topic, abortion. In my previous video, I talked about miscarriages and I had mentioned that um, one of my first lost angel babies, wasn't I was a loss, but it wasn't from a miscarriage. And I had said that I was gonna make a video about it because it was a whole different topic, and this is it. It's abortion. So, okay, in 2001, I would have been a freshman in high school. I met this guy. His name is Travis. Again, I'm not going to say the last name of any guys I was with. But his name was Travis, and we dated for a few years, and we accidentally got pregnant. And I already know what a lot of people are gonna say or think, that I shouldn't have been, having sex at such a young age. And I know that now. I know that now that I'm an adult and I'm older and I have children of my own. But when you're a kid, you don't think. So I wasn't thinking, and we were having sex, and I wasn't really good with birth control, and this guy was not caring if I was on birth control or anything like that. He was 17, I was 15. It wasn't a good situation. The whole thing was toxic. My parents weren't really paying attention to what I was doing because my dad was working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shifts at um, this nuclear power plant. I won't say which one it is because I prefer not to. And my mom, I come from six brothers and sisters, not including myself. My mom and dad had a total of seven kids. And so my mom was trying to take care of everybody else, and I know she was trying her best to pay attention to where we all were and what we were doing, but how can she pay attention like to each and every single one of us, like, one on one? You can't. I mean, if you have kids now, you would know that it's hard enough to take care of like two or three, even one. But I have four, so yeah. I know even more now that I'm older how hard that must have been for her to keep track of us all. But nonetheless, um, they were busy, should have been paying more attention. They weren't. I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be, especially at the age of 15. And I ended up getting pregnant. So I was really scared to tell my mom. And I didn't know what to do with the baby either because I personally wanted to keep the baby. The guy that I was with didn't want to keep the baby. So I was kind of just staying pregnant because I wanted to be pregnant. Not at 15, uh, I don't know how to explain that. I didn't want to be pregnant at 15, but since it already happened and I was pregnant, I wanted to keep the baby, is what I'm trying to say. Um, I had to go to the doctor's appointment, but I don't know what it was for. My mom had one set up for me. I think it was just for like a regular checkup. And my mom left the room for like the part where they check you down there and stuff. And I told the doctor that I had something to tell her, and she said, "What's that? You have a question or concern?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm pregnant, and I already know I'm pregnant, and I don't want to tell my mom. I want to tell her, but I don't want to tell her alone. I don't know how to tell her." So the doctor said, "Okay, how far along do you think you are?" And I'm like, I don't know. I just took a pregnancy test, a couple, and it was positive. And she said, "Well, we should do a urine test, or we should do a blood test to make sure and all that." So she said, "And I can go with you to talk with your mom about it if you'd like." And I'm like, "Yes," So she comes with me, she talks to my mom about it, and I tell my mom, and my mom is furious. She is furious. Now, I can understand being mad too because I have children, and if I found out my daughter was pregnant at 15, I'd be upset too, but I wouldn't be mean to my daughter about it. I guess I don't feel like my mom should have been mean to me about it because I mean, she was supposed to be responsible for me, so it wasn't, it was my fault, but it wasn't. I think you guys know what I mean. So I was kind of like, okay, this is thinking in my head, okay, this is why I didn't tell you that I was pregnant because you're going off, like you're mad at me. And so I kind of said that to her. I was like, well, see, I didn't tell you because I knew you would get mad. But she's like, well, I'm mad because you're only 15 years old, and blah, blah, blah. Well, she didn't want me to have the baby. My mom was seeing this guy, um, and his name was Larry. I'm not going to say his last name. He wouldn't have gone for that. He didn't want me to have a baby at 15, and because it would look bad. Like it was all about looks. It wasn't about how I felt. It wasn't about if I wanted to keep the baby. It wasn't about any of that. It was about what the family would think of me and how it looks to other people. Um, and yeah, it may look bad, but it's a baby. But he I think he kind of talked my mom into talking to me about abortion, or because they didn't want me to have the baby. They didn't want me to keep it, and the dad of the father of the baby didn't want it either. So I felt alone and scared, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't even know what abortion was. Swear to God, I had no clue what it was really. I wasn't educated about it. I knew what adoption was, but I guess I didn't think about it because I was just thinking, oh my God, my mom knows now. I'm scared. Everybody knows now, and I don't know what to do. So I was wanting to just do what my mom told me I need to do. I didn't want to do it, but I was scared. She told me that my dad would disown me, my family would disown me if I kept this baby, and um, that I couldn't stay there if I kept the baby. So I was scared, like, okay, I won't have anywhere to go, and my family will hate me. So that's how I was made to feel at 15. Um, and that was my thoughts at 15. I was scared. So she drove me to the clinic, made an appointment, and drove me to the clinic. And the guy who I was having the baby with came with me. And they, like, my mom and this guy, they were like supportive, like, yeah, we're taking her to get rid of this baby. And I did not want to do this. I did not want to do this. I felt like I had to. And other people can say, well, you didn't have to. You could have put the baby up for adoption. You could have did this. You could have did that. No, you weren't the one that wasn't going through it, though. So it's different when somebody is going through something, and when your who, like, how the family members are, because people don't know my family, and people don't know, like, me really. So people can say all they want to. Well, you had a choice. I didn't feel like I had a choice. So I went to this clinic in Iowa City. I'm not going to say the clinic, but you guys probably already know, most of you who live in Iowa, if you live in Iowa and you see this. And they took me into this room. They did an ultrasound, and I was about 6 or 7 weeks along. And I saw the baby, and it broke my heart because I wanted to have this baby. Nobody else wanted me to have this baby, but I wanted to have this baby. Um, so the lady said, "Are you sure, you want to do this? And I said, I don't really, but I have to because my mom and everybody, they want me to do this. She said, you don't have to do this. And I said, I do though, because I don't have anywhere to go or nothing to do. I don't know what to do. And the lady just said, can I talk do you want me to talk to your mom? And I didn't want her to because my mom was just already so mad. So I said, no, let's just do this. Um, and again, I know that I had a choice, but um, I have a lot of regret. And if I was more educated about it all, I would have never did it. So, anyways, let's go on to the part where they took me back to the room after they gave me a bunch of medicine that made me feel funny and made me feel drowsy and out of it, but I wasn't totally asleep. And they, got everything ready for the procedure, and they stuck this like tube thing inside me down there, and like sucked everything out of me, the baby and everything. And everybody, all the doctors and nurses were around me. There was a lot of people in the room. I kind of remember in and out of things like that. And it was just terrible. It was the worst experience that I've ever had in my life. One of them. Uh, and if if I were older when that had happened, I would have chose no. No, I wouldn't have aborted my child. I would have never chose abortion. I would have known that there was other options for me, that I wasn't alone, that other people would have supported me, and I would have had places to go, and I could have um, kept my baby. I could have put the baby up for adoption too. But in my opinion, I would have wanted my baby to be with me because I don't want my baby. I wouldn't have wanted my baby raised by somebody else that could have been a child molester or an abuser or something weird like that because you hear it all the time. But I would have had other options like those, and I wasn't told about those options or didn't wasn't made to feel like I had other another option. But I'm just here to say, ladies, if you're thinking about abortion, of course you have your own choice. Everybody has their own choice. But I would advise you don't choose abortion because you're mentally up here, all messed up because you'll regret the abortion because you'll wonder what the baby would have looked like, what the baby would have sounded like when he got older, he or she, or you would have wondered if it was a boy or a girl. You would have you think about them all the time as time goes by. I do. Sometimes I still think about that baby, and I think, okay, that baby would have been like 19 or 20 right now. And graduated from high school, and possibly like a really good job and a girlfriend and all that, or boyfriend or whatever. And I can't ever redo that mistake. And then physically, there's physical stuff about abortion that's not good either. It can cause infertility. You might not ever be able to have another baby again if you want to. It could cause issues down there like reoccurring UTIs, just different, whole bunch of different complications down there. And like I said, mentally, it can cause depression, anxiety, post traumatic stress disorder, any of that. So, I mean, of course, ladies, you have your own decision. It's your own body. But that's my opinion and that's my advice. I would not do it. Yes, I had one, but that doesn't mean that I'm for abortions because I'm not. Because I feel like we all have a choice, just like I did. I laid down, I opened my legs. Other people lay down, they open their legs, they make the choice to do it. And you know what happens when you do it. A baby can come. So, I advise people not to. I know I'm going to get a lot of people that probably disagree, but that's my story. And it was awful. It was the worst experience ever. And I had, years and years went by, and I had a baby sister. She's the youngest of us 7 kids, and she ended up getting to have her baby, and she was the age of 15 when she had her first kid, and my mom did not make her abort the child, which is awesome. I wouldn't have wanted my niece aborted, but the point is, okay, why did you make me do it though? Why did my mom make me have an abortion? Make me feel like I had to have an abortion? Um and tell me that she doesn't want me to have the baby, but then went ahead and let my sister have her baby. That just didn't make sense to me. It felt like it was a slap in the face to me, because when I asked her about it and had talked to her about it, she told me that it was a life lesson that she learned after she took me to do that, and that she would never do it again. But that kind of hurt me too, because it made me feel like, okay, I'm a life lesson. Like that, so you just went ahead and took me there and did that, and then you learned your lesson. So I don't know. That all hurt me too. But okay, basically, the point of this video is we have a choice. If you have a pregnancy, accidental one you weren't ready for, you can abort the child. You can give the child up for adoption, and you can keep the child too and raise it yourself. My opinion is on abortion though is to not get one. Adoption or keep the baby yourself, because we are responsible for what we do. That's the truth in it. And I take responsibility for the abortion that I had, because I could have said no. I just felt intimidated. I felt obligated. Those were feelings though. I should have did what I knew what was right. So I just wanted to talk with you guys about the topic abortion. I hate the topic. Never thought I would talk publicly about it, because a lot of people nowadays are for it. That's just the truth. A lot more are for it nowadays than they aren't. But that's my story. That's the topic. And I'll talk about another topic tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, you can leave the comments below. If they get too nasty, I'm just going to turn them off or report them. But you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching the YouTube channel.